Welcome to Breaking 70, Race Against Father Time. Hello everyone, I'm Brian Bailie, and I'm excited to kick off my 2025 journey to break 70, a personal challenge and passion project. In partnership with GolfCast, where golf meets whiskey, we'll provide free weekly podcasts on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube, sharing the trials and triumphs of this adventure. GolfCast members will also get even more, including exclusive footage, stories, and in-depth content. Sign up for free today to experience everything GolfCast has to offer. It won't stay free for long. Let's chase this scoring dream together. Now let me give you a little background on myself. For 17 years, I coached collegiate golf at every level, Division III, Division II, and Division I. My focus? Short game and putting. It's where rounds are won and lost. I've spent my career helping players, touring professionals, collegiate athletes, and amateurs of all skill levels sharpen their scoring skills on and around the green. Over the past 25 years, I've built incredible relationships with some of the best coaches in the game. Their expertise has shown me how to teach and play, and I'll be bringing their insights along on this journey. Here's the funny part, though. I've never taken a golf lesson in my entire life. That's right. Not once have I sat in front of a coach to have my swing dissected. Sure, I've attended seminars, watched lessons, and taught thousands myself. But me being coached? Never. Does that sound familiar? I bet a lot of you can relate. Well, that changes today. I'm committed to a personal journey to break 70. I currently carry 6 handicap, and that's with no practice, so I definitely have some work to do. So let me give you a quick plan of what it's going to look like. Starting this January, I will map out the game plan and introduce a team of coaches who will help me on this journey. February, I'll kick off indoor training for golf with a focus on fitness to keep it safe and effective for a 52-year-old golfer like me. That's a physical specimen. It's taken a lot of bad years to get like this. This spring, I'll be hitting the road, meeting with some of the most innovative coaches I've come to know. Each month, I'll sit down with a coach for a deep dive into their strategies, go through a lesson, which we will film, and then we'll share a post-lesson analysis on how to train and to improve. But this just isn't about me. Along the way, I'll be bringing in experts, including sports fitness groups and one of the best sports psychologists in the game, Mike Grevlos, to help us understand what it takes to reach our scoring goals. This journey is about setting goals, embracing the grind, and celebrating the process of improvement in this amazing game. Use me as your sounding board. Ask questions, share your challenges, and let us grow together. So let's get started. Let's chase our goals. Let's elevate our games. And let's enjoy every step of the way. Let's go. So the million-dollar question is, how are we going to be able to break 70? Well, I'm going to use the great American philosopher, Mike Tyson, who famously said, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. Similarly, many golfers lack the structured improvement strategies, and they merely react to challenges on the golf course. Let's change that by establishing a performance ethos, a cornerstone, might you say, to guide a consistent progress to our scoring goals. Let's talk about what it takes to break 70. Having been in the golf world for decades, working with some of the best players in the world, and even dabbling in the golf data science myself for 10 years, I know what it looks like to achieve this milestone. That's the good news. The challenge, though, is not a small feat. I understand how tough it will be, but I'm ready to tackle this head on, and I want you to come along for the ride. For those that are on their own journey, I'll also share with you what it takes to break other scoring milestones such as 100, 90, 80, and of course, breaking 70. But first, let's address a few truths about golf improvement that no one really talks about. These truths can hold players back. Number 1, most golfers don't train properly to achieve scoring goals. It's not that they don't want to or don't need to, but many lessons and practices aren't aligned with their goals for improvement. 2, almost no one likes recording data. From my experience inside of the data science world, I estimate that 99.9999999% of golfers will avoid this. But here's the catch. Tracking data is crucial to spotting trends and ensuring progress. Since I know most of you, I hate to say it, including myself, aren't going to meticulously record every detail, I've designed a simple and effective way to track performance. It's easy to manage, runs in a basic spreadsheet if you choose so, and focuses on what really matters. So let's dive into these numbers that we're going to track and show how we're going to break 70. Here's the funny thing. Most people treat scoring in golf differently than any other sport, but golf is just like every other sport. It has some basic components. So every sport, there's an offensive component. My ability to, inside of golf, to make birdie. How do we make birdie in golf? It's very simple. You can kind of understand how to make birdie by how many greens do you hit in regulation, but that's just not quite good enough. We also want to know how often do we hit it within 20 feet of the hole. So we're going to track greens in regulation and how often do we hit it within 20 feet of the hole. And then we're going to say how many birdie putts do we make, how many one putts do we have in relationship to our greens. That is offense, our ability to make birdie. There's also a section where we're going to talk about scoring defense, right? That is our ability to not make bogey. How are we going to do that? Well, we're going to monitor our scrambling rate. What does that consist of? Every time when we miss the green, so every time we miss a green in regulation, how often does our next shot end up within 6 feet or 12 feet of the hole? That is our ability and proximity-wise to be able to save par. And just like birdies, we're going to record how often do we one putt. How many times do we make one putts, allow ourselves to save par. By combining offense and defense, we're going to be able to predict score easily. But a lot of people right now are probably going, well, how does that give me a plan of action? What can I learn from this? Well, just by tracking these simple stats, this will open up the entire game of golf. So what we want to do to be able to break 70 is I want to be able to average 72, shooting par. Inside of golf, there's variability in scoring, right? Just because I average par 72 doesn't mean every round is going to be a 72. I'm going to shoot a 77. I'm going to shoot a 68. I'm going to shoot a 73. I'm going to shoot a 71. The reason I shoot 72 is there is variance in scoring. And for most golfers, it's probably 7 to 8 shots kind of bridging whatever your scoring average is. So setting the goal to be par shooter is really what we want to do to be able to break 70. How awesome is that? So the task is all sounding a little bit better than it needs to be. So that's exciting. Boom. Let's move forward. So let's break down our scoring strategies. So to be able to shoot even par, my greens in regulation need to be between 12 and 13 per round. And of that, 50% of those have to be within the 20-foot distance. So ideally, we're going to be looking at 6.5 to 7 putts inside of 20 feet to give myself the chance to make birdie. Or if I give myself 7 putts inside of 20 feet for birdie, I'm looking to convert close to half of those for birdies. That's going to give me anywhere from 3 to 3.5 birdies per round, which is plenty of offense for me to be able to score par or better. So the next big component would be of the greens that I miss, how often do I chip it within 6 feet or 12 feet? So the math really shows you when you miss a green in regulation, the best chance for you to save par is to hit it within 6 feet. So ideally, of the 6 greens, let's say I've missed, I want to hit 3 of them within 6 feet, 2 of them within 12 feet, or basically 5 12 feet and in, right? 2 between 7 and 12 feet, and then basically 1 chip outside of 12 feet. And from that, hopefully I would score anywhere from 2.5 to 3.5 bogeys, which again is going to give me kind of right around that par level, right? If I make 3.5 birdies, I make 3 bogeys, I'm going to be a little bit under par on average. But here's the beauty of the system. Again, you have to remember there's variance. So some rounds I make 4 birdies or 5 birdies, and I only make two bogeys. Boom, I hit our gold. We broke 70. So again, understanding that if we can start to elevate our game to reach these certain numbers, it's going to give us a better chance time after time to set our goal of breaking 70. But again, most of us aren't going to want to track the data and put in this huge amount of information. But the beauty is if we use the offense and defense of what I just talked about, over time, it will help us understand the trends and really create a good plan to get better. Having a good understanding of offense and defense will allow us to pinpoint strengths and weaknesses, and over time refine a plan based on our trends. How do these numbers work? We can go into them a little bit deeper. So think of it this way. If my greens in regulation are low, the main question is it a T-ball issue? Am I hitting the ball off the tee in a position that doesn't allow me to score? Could be. Could it be the ability for me to hit my irons for an approach? Could be. Could it be the distance off the tee is too short, not allowing me to hit green? Possibility. Could it be a targeting issue? Maybe I'm too aggressive or I'm hitting away from too many flag sticks, so I'm not giving myself enough chances inside of 20 feet. They are. So again, by understanding these basic kind of matrix, we can ask very well-informed questions and really figure out what we need to work on. Short game is the same way. If my greens are too low, again, is that a tee-ball issue that's forcing me to have to chip more? Is there a distance off the tee issue that's allowing me to miss more greens? And then my ability around the green, how often can I hit it within 6 feet, 12 feet, and so on? Again, these simple stats. So it's going to be round information. It's not shot by shot. It's going to be kind of a collective of the round. It shouldn't take you more than 30 seconds to 45 seconds to actually map out what just happened. You can do it in a log in your notebook, or again, I will share a spreadsheet with you if you want to do that. But just by having these simple questions, you can really start to understand what are my strengths and what are my weaknesses. And there'll be one other piece we're going to track. We're going to call total putts. Total putts is a great tool to understand how good you are at scoring on the green. So that'll be the last kind of statistical piece we'll track. But you can see, not very detailed, not a whole lot of effort, very simple but very informative. And to me, this is the DNA, this is the ethos of what it takes to score, and that would be scoring and breaking 70 or your scoring barrier. So I'm really excited about this. More information on this, I'll do a detailed piece on how this works in the coming episodes here in January as we kind of map out what this looks like. But like I said, to break 70, our goal is to shoot even par. 12 greens, half of those inside of 20 feet, make half of those for birdie. From the greens that we missed, roughly 6, we want half of those to be within 6 feet. Two of them between 7 and 12, and ideally we're going to make 3 putts inside of that zone, and we're going to walk away even par. And again, if we can stack it even par every day, we have a really good chance of being able to move forward. What I will also do inside of the comments below, I'll show you what the numbers are for breaking 100, breaking 90, and breaking 80 as well. For your greens, putts inside of 20 feet, how many putts you should make? And the same thing when you miss the green, how often should you be within 6 feet, 12 feet, and outside of 12 feet, and what that looks like. Again, setting these goals so you can achieve. So make sure you check on the comments below, and I look forward to this journey. So there's more to come. Be looking for our new episode every Friday inside of your favorite podcast medium, as well as inside of GolfCast.com. We're going to keep taking a deeper dive inside of this journey. Man, I love it when a plan comes together. Let's go. Let's get after it. And I'll see you out on the course.